300 is the number of the week. Stay tuned to find out why. Standing, kneeling, lying down, however you're watching, I'm glad you're watching. I'm Caroline Haney with 5 Things Sports, bringing you 5 sports highlights and 0 politics for the week of September 18th through September 24th, 2017. First up this week, our first story this week is definitely not a highlight, but it's an important story nonetheless. Last Wednesday at Yankee Stadium, a young fan was hit in the face by a line drive by Yankees third baseman Todd Frazier. While medical staff were working on the girl, the game was delayed about 20 minutes, and the players were visibly shaken and upset by this, especially Frazier. There is video of the incident, but I'm not going to be showing it here. She was taken from the stands to a hospital, and her family has reported that she is doing okay. Obviously, we hope and pray for a full recovery for the young girl. After the game, many players spoke out about the MLB not requiring more netting and calling on ballparks to voluntarily install more netting. 3 teams, the Reds, the Mariners, and the Padres, have already come out and said that they're going to install more netting in the off-season, but the Yankees have been eerily quiet on the subject. But protecting fans really isn't as simple as just installing more netting. Take a look at this picture of Citi Field, the home of the Mets, the Yankees' crosstown rival. They installed more netting between seasons last year. As you can see from the photo, the netting behind the backstop is 30 feet high, and that extends all the way down to the far sides of the dugouts. Beyond that, there's an 8-foot high net from the far side of the dugout to the outfield. Now take a look at this photo of where the fan who was hit this week was sitting. Now, I'm not saying in any way that the netting would have prevented it or not. There's no way to really know that for sure, but all I'm saying is it's totally possible for a foul ball to go beyond the 30-foot netting and above the 8-foot high netting. Plus, adding more netting prohibits players from making great catches like this. So this brings us to our question of the week. Should the MLB require teams to add more netting to protect fans before next season? Or maybe you have another solution like having an age requirement to sit down low in the stadiums. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And if you are going to a sporting event, especially a baseball game, please be aware of what's going on the field. You know, it's not going to prevent every accident from happening, but you don't want to be that person who gets hit in the head. Number 2 this week. On to some happier news. If you've ever wanted to catch a home run ball at an MLB game, this was your year to do it. On this channel alone, we've already told you about Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge and their terrific seasons at the plate this year, but we haven't even had the chance to tell you about A's rookie Matt Olson and how he became the first rookie to hit 15 home runs in a 21-game span. These players and many more have contributed to a record-breaking season for the MLB, hitting more than 5,800 home runs in the league. This breaks the previous total of 5,693 back in 2000. But if great pitching is more your thing, maybe you should check out Red Sox ace Chris Sale, who struck out his 300th batter this season on Wednesday night. Sale is the first American League pitcher to reach the 300K mark since 1999. The last pitcher to do so, Pedro Martinez, Hall of Famer for the Red Sox. If you would like to see all 300 of Sale's strikeouts this season, somebody has put a video together just for you, and I'll post that link down in the description below. And the great news for home run and strikeout lovers alike is that the season isn't even over yet. So we'll be sure to give you a final total at the end of September in our September update. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss that episode when it comes out. And number 3 this week. Chris Sale wasn't the only one hitting a number 300 milestone this week. On Sunday, September 24th, Odell Beckham Jr. became the fastest player to reach 300 career receptions in the NFL. OBJ did this in just 45 games. And despite the Packers' rocky 1-1 start, quarterback Aaron Rodgers reached a milestone by becoming the 11th NFL quarterback to throw for 300 career touchdowns in their loss to the Falcons last week. Rodgers takes on another career milestone on Sunday as he plays the only team that he has not beaten other than the Packers, the Cincinnati Bengals. Rodgers is 0-2 against the Bengals in his career playing against them. And I am happy to report that Rodgers broke the curse and was able to beat the Bengals, making him 1-2 against the team. This adds Rodgers to a pretty exclusive club, as only 4 other quarterbacks have beaten 31 teams, and only 2 quarterbacks have ever beaten all 32 NFL teams. Check the 5 Things Sports Twitter to find out who these quarterbacks are. And if your fantasy team was playing against Todd Gurley of the LA Rams this week, I am just sorry. Gurley had 3 touchdowns in the 41-39 win over the 49ers, the first NFL game to ever end in that score. Gurley also has 6 touchdowns in the first 3 games of the season. That hasn't been done since Calvin Johnson in 2011. Number 4 this week is your college football top 25 update. Just like last week, if I don't mention a team that's in the top 25, that means they beat their unranked opponent this week. Number 6, Oklahoma State lost at home to number 16, TCU, 44-31. TCU has now won 3 of their last 4 road games against top 6 opponents. Number 11, Georgia took on number 17, Mississippi State, between the hedges in Athens this weekend and came out with a 31-3 win. Number 12, Florida State lost at home to NC State, 27-21, to go 0-2 on the season. The last time the Seminoles started 0-2 was 1989, when they lost to the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, led by none other than Brett Favre. And number 5 this week, the PGA Tour Championship wrapped up on Sunday at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. The Tour Championship is the final 30 golfers who have made it through the PGA playoffs. And in addition to the PGA Tour Championship trophy being up for grabs, the FedEx Cup and $10 million prize with it is awarded to the player who has accumulated the most FedEx Cup points throughout the season. Don't ask me how the points are calculated, because it makes no sense whatsoever. Both titles came down to the last few pairings on Sunday, and Justin Thomas was in the mix for both titles. Luckily for Thomas, he did not have to win the tournament this weekend to win the FedEx Cup, as he came up just a stroke short to Xander Schauffele, who won his 2nd PGA Tour event this year, and it's his rookie season. But ultimately, Justin Thomas walked away with the big prize, as he is the FedEx Cup champion for the year and the winner of the $10 million. Congrats to Justin Thomas. I hope you continue your success through the years. That's all for this week. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button. If you missed last week's episode, you can check it out right here. As always, I'm Caroline Haney for 5 Things Sports, and I'll see you next week.